lots of different changes with qualifying for things. He'll just try and adapt, and if he doesn't, he may perish. He's not someone I see going to Q school over the next couple of years, but I really do want Ricky to understand that if he wants progression, he's going to have to find a way to change his fortunes himself. It's not just going to fall into his lap.
Well, that's it. Even though he may not have gone on to do the things he's aimed to do, he's never looked in danger of losing his spot on the tour, has he?
Correct.
Which in itself is a hell of an achievement.
Yes, it is. And we're talking about over a decade.
64.
So let's laud him for doing that. But he really wants to take the next step. It's almost as if he's glued to the previous step on the ladder. Double 16 for 2-0. That's more like it. Clinical stuff there. And I love that use of treble 11 on 65. Very much a neglected route. And the opportunity of getting to a six-figure payday tomorrow. If you lose tonight, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, both of these guys, I mean, they're ranked 38 Luke Woodhouse and 46 Ricky Evans at the moment going into this tournament. As Ricky's going to take a chunk out of this and leave himself on 36 again. But, you know, a real big run here, and who knows what the draw will do for the quarterfinals for whoever wins this game.
Absolutely.
You know, they could be pushing for top 32, and that's a seeded spot at Ali Pali. Miss outside. 4-1 will hurt.
Double 9. Oh, you heard what he thought about that.
Ricky requires 32.
Sickening miss at double 9 and double 18 for Rapid Ricky. That's not a marker, that's not anything. Nothing positive, at least. He's getting closer.
16.
Maybe too close with that second dart. He just blocked it.
Yeah, I don't think either of those darts helped him, to be honest. Single one. Yep. Oh! Well, Ricky laughs it off, but he will be fuming with that.
He's trying to hide how he feels about that single one miss. That may be the worst leg we see on the stage tonight, but tempering the clown-like behaviour or trying to make people laugh. How about if he goes the other way? How about if he does more of it? Does that improve him as a player? It might.
Well, look, he needs to throw good stuff. And the thing is, he has been throwing some good stuff for quite some time. You look at the figures from last year in terms of the averages, he's up there in the top 32, I believe. Now then. Oh, that's really good. If you're not going to take the 144 out, that's the next best prize.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Forcing Woodhouse to take this, which he won't. Doesn't have to go single 20 here. He could go treble 12.
100.
That's a really nice find from Luke. 5-2 is his. Break of throw, Ricky Evans. Halfway point for him. And he made one against Ian White prior to that.
Yeah, well, that was the year he made the Grand Prix, the match play. He was in the match play again the following year. But has not been in either of those big tournaments since then. We're getting on for 4 years.
It's really important to know that you're not going to be behind at the break, but you must keep your foot down. Think about the possibility of 6-4, even 7-3 if Woodhouse makes the mistake. He doesn't like that dart, so he's resetting. I quite like that. He won't like that. He will hate that. And now Evans has a chance to guarantee the lead at the break.
Double 19 for double 10. Single 18. Double top. 6-3 Evans, important moment in this game. Luke Woodhouse missing 3 darts to cut the gap. And Ricky Evans is just keeping Woody at arm's length at the minute. Ricky Evans is deservedly ahead here. And it's looking like 7-3.
60. Ricky recall 161.
7-3 is not good news for Woodhouse.
99.
Yeah, with Woodhouse on 297, I don't mind him going for that 19 segment, but quite a few select others might have gone for the bullseye with the last start.
Going price goes for the bullseye there, leaves single to double.
Ricky requires 62.
But he makes up for it by getting the treble.
30.
He's having a few issues on that double 16. It sort of reminded me of Rob Cross's problems on it for a while, where if he's missing outside, I don't know if he's kicking over to the right a bit, and it might be causing him problems and covering the bed.
39.
That may be a problem if it persists. However, the biggest problem for Woodhouse is that he's got a 4-leg deficit to try and cover, and he's running out of time.
They have now deserted him. Oh, here we go.
140.
A bit more urgency about Woody now. He's going to need every single ounce of it to get into bed tonight as a winner.
96. Luke requires 120.
Something like this would ignite him. And this is what world-class dart players do in these moments. They find 1-2-1 finishes on the bull.
96.
He's had a few goes at the bullseye in this game.
68.
And he has missed it every single time, and he's lost the 2 previous legs.
36.
He does not lose this one just yet.
Luke requires 25.
When you're given a chance, you take it, and then you move on to the next one. Very well done. Couldn't really have gone much better since the break.
30.
If he loses this leg, Luke Woodhouse is favourite for the game. And it's back-to-back ton 40s, and you can just see the entire demeanour from Luke Woodhouse is transformed over the last few minutes.
And that ironic smile coming from Evans there, that's an uncontrollable reaction there, as if to say, yep, we're going deep again. And he hasn't really gone deep in this tournament. It's 6-3 against Lee Evans in the Evans Derby. Scott Williams, he won 10-4, 10-5 against De Decker. This is going to be his closest match.
But that is massive from Rapid Ricky. He needed a good leg, he needed something special, and he finds a 140 checkout. That's pretty good too. Back-to-back ton 40s. And all of a sudden, it was Ricky Evans who was looking in danger for the last few minutes, and it's turned around.
140.
It's a 140 marathon at the minute. They're everywhere. Ricky would love one. Doesn't quite have enough room left. Really powered that last dart, but just ran out of room.
Going the 18s route. It's got rather messy, so he should look at the bullseye here.
This is one of the biggest checkouts that Ricky Evans has faced in the last 5 years.
80.
Double 10. And that route is so valuable. The little cousin of 140 has just been hit as well. Yeah, the chin's going down now, and Rapid Ricky is getting quicker. He sees the tape, and it's only 50 metres away, and he's going fast.
59.
This is it. This is when Woodhouse just throws in the towel. But he's just not going to catch Ricky now.
100.
Yeah. Bottom lip jutting out from Luke Woodhouse. He feels the chance has gone. There was a little moment there where he might have been able to turn it around, and he chucks in a 180, but it may be irrelevant because Ricky Evans has stood up to him.
Just how big will that 140 checkout be in the career of Ricky Evans? We just don't know at this point, but I guarantee you this. It physically hurt Woodhouse when it was planted.
It was a tide turner. It was a match winner. If he wins the match, which he has. And Rapid Ricky Evans is a quarter-finalist at the UK Open for the first time. He raced off into a 7-3 lead.
There's also another thing when it comes to this place, because he doesn't find himself on stage 2 that often, but he is the only person to win the title on this stage. So maybe he does like Red's bar. Let's see how he likes it tonight. He likes that 180 though.
Treble 16 or treble 20? Treble 20 it is for double 14, and that is a superb checkout from Smash. 180 from Gary Anderson. to leave himself on a double, and Martin Lukeman takes out a ton-plus finish.
Luke Humphries, who kicked on from that first European Tour win. I think Lukeman's playing better now than he was then. And I don't want any recency bias. It's not that. He just looks more comfortable, more likely, more threatening than he was back then.
I certainly think it's comparable. I mean, there are that spell that he had. As Gary, ooh, how about that? 168 to leave himself on double 4.
But every time he has that approach shot, Lukeman's ahead.
He is. Double 13 for 3-0. Martin Lukeman hoovering up chances. 3-0 against the Flying Scotsman.
If you were to offer someone in this tournament right now the ability to play an entire game with visit perfect doubles, they would have your arm off. Oh my. Great use of the board from Martin, who had another flopper in the treble downstairs and decided to go back upstairs to great effect.
140.
This is for another break of throw, a 2-break lead. Martin Lukeman, he's not missing doubles. He is not missing anything. It is a superb leg, and smash is, quite frankly, in this game, better than Gary Anderson, despite the fact he's averaging pretty much the same. The chances are Lukeman is going to start missing doubles at some point. He has to, doesn't he?
He said that about Johnny Clayton against James Wade at the Masters in 2021, and he missed 1 out of 10.
Oh, and even when Gary Anderson starts firing in the big scores, Martin Lukeman is matching him.
Well, Gary's been under pressure
44.
since the first leg, and he just feels like he's trying to catch Martin, who is cruising at a very, very good pace at the minute.
81.
I can't remember one bad, I mean really bad visit in this match for Lukeman.
140.
Yet again, Anderson gets himself on a finish, but Lukeman's already there. And this time it's 10s. Oh my, word smash! What a display! Now he's looking for 8-2 at the break. Gary, to his credit, who must get to 7-3 surely, he can't possibly go through an 8-2 scenario, well, just like Searle from Friday.
Quite. Ryan Searle, his practice partner, did come from 8-2 down to lead in his game and then lost it.
60.
Just the 60 and a 2-treble visit will just keep Lukeman interested, because he's gobbling up any chances. Even a 1-treble visit gets him to a finish. Just looking to hammer it between those two, and he's unable to do it. So Anderson, a couple of visits from here to get a 3rd leg.
Double 18. He has done his job, and he has won leg 10. Things are starting to look up. That first start is being planted. And when he's getting 3 points together like that, that'll get everybody's attention. And I'm not just talking about the audience who are starting to think that there's a game on now.
100, Gary, 190.
Lukeman's starting to score tons instead of 140s and 180s. Whereas Gary is getting to those finishes first.
65.
That was an interesting route, wasn't it?
Martin, you require 161.
161 won't go. But Gary Anderson will come back to clean up the 25, and I think it'll be 17 double 4. Maybe it'll be 9 double 8. Yeah, 9 double 8 it'll be. And 9 double 8 it is. It is back-to-back legs for Gary Anderson, something he has not done in this game.
That's why he won the last set.
Oh, this is good though. Lukeman's got some firepower as well. It's 180 number 3 for smash. He will get a chance, but can he continue this magnificent finishing?
I do get the feeling that Anderson at some point is going to need Lukeman to make an error on something like this. 14. 22. Not again. He's seeing the doubles like they're the size of Minehead itself. One of the premier doubles performances that we have ever seen in any major.
Gary Anderson is throwing the kitchen sink at him here. Martin Lukeman has found a 12 darter on throw. That's going to win you the leg. It needs a 9 darter for Anderson. But he might need to find 2 more the way this is going.
45.
Just boiling this down a little bit. Has Gary just left himself a little bit too much to do?
139.
Tremendous
Gary,
backup shot to the maximum. No 136 for Gary. And Lukeman's surely going to get another darter double here. If not
Martin, you require
1, it might be 2.
Oh, double 16. Oh, this is silly. This is utterly, utterly silly. Martin Lukeman. But Martin Lukeman has finished flawlessly.
Oh, great use of the board.
128.
Had to go 18s on dart 2. Double dips his bread. And now he's 140 away, and he's got good memories of this shot.
125. Martin, you require 140.
He's not going to repeat the trick, but he is going to leave himself on something makeable. And Gary Anderson...
74. Gary, you require 136.
Interesting. I think that's a bad choice for Martin Lukeman. But then again, if you're finishing anything, it doesn't matter.
Martin, you require
Let's see if he can finish
66.
with 66 for over 80% on doubles for the match.
Double 9. Martin Lukeman with one of the greatest displays of finishing you are ever likely to see. He has beaten Gary Anderson and beaten him well. But he is so highly regarded, and he is a semi-finalist at the European Championship, where he started off the campaign beating Damon Heta.
Brilliant. Expect plenty of that.
Damon, you require 147.
May just be a warning sign to Heta, a fresh one at that, that if he's not on it tonight, Van Veen
97.
will be.
Gian, you require 58.
Double top.
Game shot on the first one.
Beautiful stuff. Gian Van Veen, 180 setup shot, 58 taken out in 2 darts. Break a throw and a 1-0 lead.
Australians have never won this title.
140.
In fact, the only ranked major titles won by Australians
140.
have been in Germany and at the Circus Tavern. Nobody from Australia has won a ranked major here.
100.
Simon Whitlock.
Damon, you require 100.
Full-blown Aussie winning the European Championship. Paul Nicholson, sort of semi-Aussie, winning the Players' Championship finals.
A posse.
How about this, double 14?
Game
Proper
shot.
stuff, Damon Heta. Now he's arrived in this game.
Not at all. Are you excited about the European Tour coming back next week, or is that just the world's stupidest question?
Yes?
96. Gian, you
both.
require 156.
156, 60, 60, double 18. There's the first one. There's the next one. Double 18 for a 156.
Ghost dart.
120. Damon, you require 85.
I like that ghost dart on dart 3 because sometimes you can throw it a bit too fast and a bit jerky. This needs to be central. Oh, the line was good.
Gian, you
Just had a
require
bit too much on it.
36.
This time Van Veen gives it a little thrust before he goes for dart 1. Can he do what Smash did in hitting double 9?
Game shot on the
Yes, he
second
can
one.
for 4-2.
Gian Van Veen.
Not drastic for Heta yet.
Damon's to throw first.
We're in the live rankings.
180.
As I said that Damon Heta is scheduled to go back into the top 10 at this stage. Only half of the top 10 are left. Dave Chisnell,
57.
Peter Wright, Rob Cross, Luke
Gian, you
Humphreys,
require
all
87.
still alive. But someone from Australia is in trouble already.
55.
This was always going to be a tricky game. But this is a tricky situation now. It's going to have to be brilliant from here
46.
because Van Veen looks
Gian
really
requires
comfy.
32.
Double 16. And despite him taking a fair few darts to find the doubles, Gian van Veen's scoring is giving him those opportunities. He's had more than twice the number of darts at double than Damon Heta has had in this match.
Littler's had a very good session. Averaging over 101.
180.
And he's maintained his doubling percentage in that second session as Littler. He's still at 67%. Things are going up a notch here, though, as you can hear and see. But how big is the next 2 minutes going to be for Damon? 6-4 down, he'll feel good. 7-3, he'll feel sick.
128.
Good stuff from Van Veen. Leaves 1-3-4, gives him options when he returns to the board. Back to the 20s for Heta. Got to stay straight.
71.
And it catches the dart. It doesn't register at all, even if it had gone in the fives, which looked like where it was destined he wouldn't be on a finish.
Yeah, that's the risk with that angle of attack, isn't it? Sometimes in that moment, you're better off going for a big 20.
94.
So it'll be darts at double for Van Veen for a 7-3 lead. Now, he has missed doubles in this game. It is the one Achilles heel that the Dutchman has had in this match so far.
100.
Heta down to 90, but will he be allowed back to the board? This for a 7-3 lead.
What a performance so far from Gian van Veen.
We'll see about his performance. He's averaged over a ton in both his games so far. The world #1 and world champion, the man who beat Littler in the World Championship final, of course, on January 3rd.
134.
But he was behind Littler in the betting at the start of the tournament.
Got to laugh, haven't you? He's not even in the top 24 in the world.
Damon, you require 90.
And he's the favourite for the title.
He has only played about 6 events, Mike. Well, 12 off. And it doesn't really matter for Damon because
50.
that will do. Van Veen not looking too concerned at the moment, but
58.
that will
Damon,
change
you
if
require
this
40.
continues.
Yeah, that shoulder's starting to engage on dart number 3 because now Damon is only 1 behind. Things are getting tasty once again, just like the Whitlock game from yesterday.
Well, he did have what looked like a convincing lead against James Wade in the semi-final of that European Championship, and he let it slip, but that's his first maximum since the break.
Well, he's gone for the load to leave 99, but a lot of defensive players might have gone for the 19s with the last start, but not Damon. This could be an enormous 6-dart conversion.
95. Damon, you require 99.
2 tops, that's where he's looking. Oh, well, does he go for the tops again? No, he doesn't. I thought with that guide he might have been tempted.
Gian, you require 107.
The risk that he missed it again and leaves himself on 80. However, Gian on 107 needs to find a shot at the outer ring, and he's not going to get one. Now, what does Damon do on 65?
55. Damon, you require 65.
Does he gamble on the 25?
Huh.
That's the trade-off. 1 dart, a
Game
double
shot
6,
passing play.
and we have 7 all. However, fair to say that Van Veen is not playing at the same level that we saw from Smash or even Ricky Evans after that 140 out.
Oh, when somebody's coming at you, you need to find something special to stop them. And Damon Heta is coming at Gian van Veen.
He's going full on Leighton Hewitt now. He's giving it the old celebration, but the spirit and the drive and everything else is there as well. He's grasping the darts out the board like he's angry at them.
Great leg of darts this from Van Veen. But he's going to have to take this out, and he's been missing doubles, and it's a beautiful setup. A 170 to leave double 8.
He's done everything right in the last 6 darts, and he might still lose the leg. But he doesn't. It's that department of the board that's let Van Veen down over the last 10-15 minutes.
For a 10-darter. Damon Heta is on fire. Damon Heta has stormed back into this. There have been little opportunities for Van Veen. Take 4 out of 6 perfects at the start of this leg, though, wouldn't he?
He will when his opponent's all the way close to the 400 mark. You mentioned he's faltered over the last 20 minutes, but he's faltered in this leg when Heta's been thriving. That may be the last 180 he needs.
Damon Heta, since the break, has been transformed.
Damon, you require 44.
He's had a 10 darter. This is for an 11 darter. Okay, it'll have to be 12. To win it.
28.
But he'll get more chances.
He said great dart to himself as he hit that 5. Very ironic. But at least he's coming back for the same corner of the board to be in the quarterfinals for the second time in his career.
Double 4. The Aussie has done it again. It's another comeback from Heta. He was 7-3 down and won 7 of the next 8 legs. And look, those Thursday nights are going all right for him. That final in Exeter on Thursday night puts him up to 3rd in the Premier League.
98.
And that's level on points with Luke Littler. He's only behind him on, I think, it might be leg difference or legs 1.
This one's not going to go. But you're starting to think that Keane's chances have to.
34. Keane, you require 110.
Great first start. How's his 3rd?
94.
Very well thrown. But like I said this afternoon, when Josh Rock was playing against Rob, you can't leave him on 36.
You can't leave him on anything in a minute.
Game
Remorseless from Rob Cross.
Cross.
He is 3-0 up in this one. Get one from this position.
There was a point this afternoon when he was playing Josh where
63.
if Josh had the option, he probably would have tapped.
Treble 18 for double. Not going to happen. And Rob Cross,
54.
lovely creative use of the board there to get to 170. 63 points scored. Some players wouldn't even come into their heads to do that.
Correct. You've got to be able to use that 25 and bull with the last dart after 2 correct singles at worst. That's the approach. As for Keane, double 10 is needed.
46.
And that miss could be really crucial.
Cross
Cross approaches 4-0 and 2 breaks of throw, and he will fancy this.
18 for tops. 3 out of 4 on the double so far. Make that 4 out of 5. It is 4-0 and a double break.
5th leg, it's Rob to throw first.
In the year that followed those.
Could be his year, you never know.
Look, he's 21. It's 4-5 years ago when Keane Barry was making noise, and he was the Luke Littler, he was the Josh Rock, he was the Gian van Veen. And semi-final of this. Loads of development tours, those 2 World Youth titles, or junior titles if you like. But he's 21. There's so much more to come in the Keane Barry story.
50.
Absolutely. What's the next chapter in this story? Double 16. Is that in the way? Is he going over the top?
18.
He did get in the way. He didn't like that at all. Keane would love this. Double 14. Double 7 in. And we might have a game on our hands all of a sudden. And where does he want to be at the break from this position?
And a lot of that is down to the opportunities for young players, whether that be the development tour, the JDC. There's always been young players coming into the game. Eric Bristow was a teenage prodigy. But there are more established routes now.
This is an established route for a 146.
140.
Again, just on the outside wire.
Keane require 156.
Keane has asked a very big question again, and this time he doesn't have the answer.
56. Robbie required 32.
This can get awkward for Rob if he misses outside sometimes. You saw that in the previous leg. If he goes straight in, it's not a problem, and he gets the break straight back. And Rob Cross, despite losing back-to-back legs, is still very much in charge of this contest. This game is basically on throw.
If Keane wins this leg, after 10, it will be the same as what's on the main stage because Luke Humphries is 7-3 up on Mervyn King.
140.
To Rob Cross to make sure that doesn't happen. And he is to the finish first. Now, on 131, he didn't go 51 first, but on this shot, he could go 54 first.
134.
I think he will. Because now he can go to the 19s. There's 4 of them. Just like 94. That, leaves him on top.
80.
Oh, Keane wanted tops. Now he needs 10s. That's a great recovery from Keane. A key shot for him. Keeps him in the match. For me, this is one of the premier tournaments in PDC darts because it's very much like the Open Championship golf, the US Open golf, and, of course, the US Open tennis, where people can win sectional qualifying, they can get themselves into the main draw, and if you keep winning, you can get there. Look at Emma Raducanu. She won the US Open from qualifying.
Robbie require 84.
Well, 84 was the checkout that he took in the very first leg of this match. And so we'll go to the 18s. He got treble 18 for double 7 in leg 1. But it'll have to be the bullseye this time around.
59.
Very close.
That
facial expression of Rob tells you that he thought that might have just popped the bottom 1% of that ball. But Keane Barry recovers again. My word. Even when he misses dart 1, he's pretty good with darts 2 and 3.
And the Mad Monk is as radical as they get. Enduring quote from the world of darts. What happened
97.
when you lost that game, Aaron? Aaron Monk happened.
Talking about yourself in the third
58.
person. And that's something that
70.
Barry's mate John was about, former World Master. But now, Cross is looking for another clinical kill to be within 1 of Sunday.
38.
Another wired shot on the outside of double 16.
23.
Keane can't afford to miss dart 1 here. But he does miss dart 2, meaning Cross comes back to double 16 and that 9th leg.
Robbie required 32.
The finishing has been very good for Rob Cross. He's been missing. He's not been missing by much, and he does not miss at all there, and he is a leg away from the quarterfinals. Keane Barry's not in the bullseye, which is where he needed to be for that shot to have a chance. Rob Cross to win it with a 170.
Robbie required 170.
He's had it done against him in this tournament.
In the final by Nathan Aspinall 2019. He's not going to wrap this up with a max finish.
98. Keane required 56.
Simply put, Keane's got to win 6-0 from here. Double 10.
36.
The signs weren't good after that single, only just
Robbie
found
requires
the 16.
72.
But this is a great chance to end his day's work.
Oh, he goes down 16 for double 18. Rob Cross match dart to win it 10-4. Just as he did against Josh Rock this afternoon. He's done it again. It is ruthless from Rob Cross. He sees off Keane Barry.